Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Galaxy CDs, Rocks, and Flips. It's the weekly What's Sold on eBay edition. If you're new to the channel, my name's Ryan, and I'm a full time reseller working out of my home here in the greater Cincinnati area. Thank you for stopping by. If you're a repeat visitor, thanks so much for coming back. This is the once a week recap of some of the cooler things that have left the Galaxy. If you're following along at home, on Sundays, I do my podcast where I talk about globally kind of the total sales numbers. This is the video where I specifically dive into some particular items that sold that I thought might be interesting. I think I got about a dozen of them for you today. It's been another really good week. This week is actually off to a pretty good start as well. Yesterday was a little suspect, but today's been super strong, and Sunday and Monday were fantastic. So things I keep reading from other sellers on different platforms, Facebook and Instagram, that things are slow, but I'm not really experiencing that. So let me know down in the comments what your sales are like. Are things going well? Are things kind of slow? What's going on in your world? In the Galaxy, all is well right now, knock wood. Let's dive in and take a look at some of the things that sold in the last week. This first item, not big money. It was $7 free shipping, but it was just a really interesting piece. 1977 Civil Preparedness Agency, a Department of Defense booklet on protection in the nuclear age. I'm a big Fallout fan. I've played most of the Fallout games and grew up during the Cold War. So anything like this just really kind of piques my interest. I picked this up at a garage sale in a stack of other kind of like pamphlets and little cookbooks and that. So I probably got 10 cents in it. So I made a little bit of money on it, but it was more because it was just a really interesting piece than because I thought there was big profit potential in it. So sometimes I'll do that, which probably isn't the smartest thing to do from a business perspective, but sometimes I just see interesting things and I can't help myself. You may remember I picked up a big lot of these USGA golf towels. Man, it's been a couple of months ago. I got, I think, 15 of them for 75 cents a piece. Here's another one that sold for $14 plus shipping this week. I actually sold 3 more of these towels. I think I'm down to just 2 left out of that lot. Most of them have sold for in that $14 to $15 range. So on balance, that was a really, really good find for me. So if you see those, any of the USGA member golf towels or hats seem to do okay. AT&T answering machine. I was a little bit on the fence on this. I only paid $1 for it, so I wasn't putting a bunch of money at risk, but I don't know how many people. My parents still have a landline phone, so hi, Mom, if you're watching. But even they use, voice over IP. I just wasn't sure whether this thing would sell or not. I picked it up because it was new in the box. Ended up not being a terrible flip. $14.99 plus shipping out of $1 for a new in box, old school telephone answering machine. So a jump in the Wayback Machine there. These are some church songbooks, Miracle Melodies. I got these. You may remember if you've been watching these videos for a while. I was at a garage sale where I said the lady was essentially just giving stuff away. I think I got a nickel a piece in these, so 15 cents total in the 3 of them. It went for $16.99 free shipping. These are like late 50s era for 2 of them, and then the other one was like a early 70s, done by a guy named John Peterson. I don't really know anything about them, but for that price, I couldn't pass them up. I lotted these up and sold them for $17. iHome little speaker. This isn't even Bluetooth. This is actually a wired speaker. It was new in the package. It was $3. It illuminates apparently in different colors. So I thought it was kind of a cool thing. I was scrounging around trying to find something to buy that day. So I picked this up for $3, thought, what the heck, we'll give it a try. Wasn't really sure if it would sell. Being new in a package, kind of like the answering machine, was probably helpful, but not being Bluetooth. I was a little concerned that it might not sell, but in the end, $18.99 plus shipping on an item that I only have $3 in. I will take that. This book, this was one when I went out with my good friend Lisa. She found this tucked away back in a corner. You may recall I had this, I think, in one of my haul videos, The Great Controversy Between Christ and Satan. It's a 1939 hardcover. There are various versions of this book dating back into the late 1800s. I had this listed for $39.99. I had some watchers on it. Somebody finally made me an offer of $30 and plus shipping. So I went ahead and took that. I think I got $2 in this. Might even be $1. I don't remember exactly, but $2 or less. Turned into 30 plus shipping. Nice little flip. Really wild book. Again, I've talked about it previously. Kind of any of the older religious books, if they're in any kind of shape, they're probably worth, if you can pick them up for a couple of bucks or less, they're probably worth taking a look at. I've talked before about bound magazines where they'll take a year's worth of a specialty magazine of some sort and put them into a binder. You may recall last week, I think it was, I had the Army Air Force World War II bound magazines. This week, I have 2 more sets of magazines that went out. This first one is Ideals magazine. This is like a home craft magazine. I think I did these in a haul video, and it's probably been a couple of months ago. I picked them up for $1 a piece. They have about 8 issues each in them. I had it listed for $27.99 or best offer. I got an offer of $20. These have been sitting here for a little while, so I went ahead and took that. Still for $1. I think I got 4 or 5 of these, so this one more than pays for that whole purchase. So I'm in the green on this deal, and we'll move on with life. But not a bad little flip. And then this, again, I've talked about the model railroad magazines. The yearly lots of them do pretty well. Bound, they do even better. They seem to be a little slower movers because I'm asking a little more money for them. But this was the Volume 11, 1944. So these are way, way back. This is the full year from 1944. They were in really good shape, bound in the official Model Railroader magazine binder. I had it listed for, I think, $64.99 or best offer. I got an offer over the weekend for $50. I've got several of these, not this particular year, but several bound issues of this magazine. So I went ahead and took that offer, but that's almost double what they typically bring loose. So again, any of the bound specialty magazines that you find, a lot of times the estate sellers think they're books, and they sell them for $1 or $2. And if they're bound magazines, they're probably worth 20, 30, 50. I've had one that went out of here for $70. So you definitely want to kind of be on the lookout for those if it's a sale where there's a lot of books and magazines. I had a request a while ago to kind of go over more of the CDs. I'm not going to cover all of them because right now, because I'm listing so many, I'm selling a ton of CDs to, again, hopefully put the myth to bed that they don't sell. But I am going to hit a few of the high points of stuff that has sold out of that big lot that I picked up. This first one, The Heads, The Time Is Now. It's a 1998 release on Man's Ruin Records, which is a pretty popular kind of indie label back in the day. It had some really cool artwork. Again, that lot, I own these things for about, I think it worked out to 3.74 cents a piece. This one went for $20, free shipping. So real nice flip. Street Jams, hip hop from the top. This was part 3. When I had my record store back in the early 2000s, these things were super popular and they were fairly hard to get even then. This one was new and sealed, so that helped its value quite a bit. Again, I got 3.5 cents in it, essentially sold for $24.99 plus shipping. So that was real nice. This one was even a little better. PKO. Never heard of these guys. I think it is a West Coast rap group on a really small label. It's not something I ever carried in my store. I had two of these, one used, which is this one, which sold for $29.99. And I also have a brand new one, which I think I have listed for $39.99. I don't think I had that one listed at the time this one sold. So I've still got a chance to make some pretty good money on that. But again, out of that lot and sold for $30, free shipping. I do get asked from time to time, and I think I've mentioned this before, media almost always seems to be free shipping. And unless I've got like the only one of something, I generally just go with the flow and do free shipping on these. They all ship essentially either media mail at $2.80 a piece, or some of them will actually be light enough to go first class, and then they're $2.74 to $2.78. So they're fairly inexpensive to ship. I see a lot of people complaining that media mail right now is super, super slow. I can only speak for myself. I'm having no problems whatsoever. I've got stuff that's literally getting to California media mail in 4 days right now, which is just crazy to me. Normally that stuff, even in the best of times, is a week to 10 days, but I've got stuff that I'm getting feedback on that they've already got it and it's only been 4 days. So let me know in comments what kind of experiences you're having with media mail at the moment if you use it, but I'm having no problems whatsoever. This one was a really nice score. This is also out of that lot. Patrick O'Hearn, he was I believe the keyboard player for the 80s pop band Missing Persons. He went on, for a while, he was with Private Music doing kind of keyboard oriented, what's considered new age music, some really, really cool stuff. In 2000, he put out his own album. It's on his own label, with his own website. It was not affiliated with Private Music. I don't know how many of these were out there, but they appear to be fairly scarce. This one I had listed for $68.99. I got an offer originally for $50. I countered at $60. That person declined literally the next day. Somebody offered me $58, and I'm like, that's close enough. I own it for 3.5 cents. Let's take the money and run. So $58, free shipping. Again, went out media rate, $2.80 plus the cost of the mailer. So really, really nice flip there. So that kind of sums up. That was a quick run through of some of the more interesting items that sold. Again, if you want the more kind of global picture of what I'm selling and what kind of overall business I'm doing, be sure you tune in on Sundays for the weekly recap portion of the podcast that I do. Obviously, I also do a video of that and post it here on YouTube. But that's where I kind of go over the broader picture numbers and that sort of thing, where this is a little more specific on just some cool stuff that sold. So if you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Whack that thumbs up button. If you are new here and this is the kind of content that's your jam, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification icon to get notified each time I do a new video. And with that, it's time to sell. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.